Hello, everybody. We're back today for another segment of a little bit of intuition training. So I literally don't pre-pick what I'm going to talk about. I randomly flip in my book and I read a little passage and we just see whatever it says, and then I'll expand on it as a little bit of training for today. So I opened it up to projection. This is a big one. If you don't understand what projection is, hopefully when I read this, it'll be clearer. I know that I wrote it probably clearer than I will say it on the cuff right now. So here we go. So it took me a long time in life to understand projection well and to be able to spot it when I was doing it to others and when people were projecting onto me. We have to really know ourselves well before we can spot what is our baggage versus someone else's. If you grew up in a home with weak boundaries, this may be hard to grasp at first. You'll be used to everyone blaming or putting their fears, emotions, thoughts, or outcomes on you, and you'll likely become codependent and do it in return. After a long journey of healing, you'll be able to feel yourself as an independent person and be able to do your own good and be able to own your good traits as well as your shadow traits. And no one will be able to gaslight you or alter your self-perception. Yeah, that's a long healing journey for a lot of us. You will also be fully responsible for your own life and not put it on others. Seeing through projection takes maturity. So let's look at how projection can seem like intuition. This is a chunky topic today, but I love it because it took me a long time to figure it out. So now I'm happy that I do, and I'm happy I can help other people with it. So here we go. Here's one classic type of thing that happens with projection. So if we look at the example of cheating, a classic example of projection would be a cheating man or woman who accuses their partner of cheating. So they can't admit to themselves or their partner that they are cheating. So they blame the other person for being deceptive in some other way. Or they say they can't trust them when it's actually them who can't be trusted. How many of you are familiar with that one? If we look at how projection could be misinterpreted as intuition in this case, we would see the cheater having a flash vision of the faithful partner hiding from something from them. The cheating person may have a sudden feeling that their partner withheld money from their last paycheck. They check their bank accounts. Sure enough, there's money missing. They feel sure the partner didn't tell them they bought something or had a smaller pay than usual. After fighting about this, the partner checks the bank account and sees a purchase for a hotel room, and the secret is out. The cheater was right about missing money, but was so busy projecting it onto the partner that he missed that it was his own illicit purchase. Projection is a very slippery slope. If you're trying to hide anything from others or yourself, your intuition will probably not be reliable, and you may do a lot of projecting and accusing in the name of having a feeling or a vision. I cannot stress this one enough, and this is one of the hardest parts of trusting your intuition versus what is known as projection. Because until you're really at peace and aware of your own baggage, your own issues, your own fears, your own triggers, it's very easy to be triggered by something into fear and go and think that's them. Oh, I'm getting a bad feeling about this plane ride, maybe because you're afraid of planes. Oh, I'm getting a bad feeling. I had a feeling there'd be a problem on the plane. It's like, well, is that really intuition, or is that you're projecting your fear of planes onto the next trip you have to take because you're scared? It's very different, see, because the initial emotion that comes with that is fear. You know, people project all kinds of things, though. Like they can project good things too. and it's not intuition. Here's an example, okay? And we'll talk about love life example. So let's say I'm a nice person, I'm a generous person, I share things when I have them. So I meet somebody that I'm interested in, I'm attracted, I like him, and he seems really nice so far, but I don't really know the person yet. And I start thinking, oh, he's so nice, and then I start assuming that he must be generous. And then the day comes when, I don't know, something small happens when you're out at a little place together and he doesn't open the door for you. He doesn't offer to pay for a coffee. He doesn't share his, doesn't offer you a ride home. Something that seems to you ungenerous. And you'll be like, huh? Why is he acting this way? He's a generous person. Why doesn't he like me? Why isn't he treating me right? This is so messed, right? But this is what we do this all the time. This would be an example of projecting your good traits. You are generous. You share. You would offer a lift. You would buy a coffee for someone you like. And because you like this person and you're hoping that they're good and you want them to be good, you're projecting your good qualities onto them as if they have them too. And then you're like, you're all shocked when they don't. So this is not your intuition either. It's really a tricky one. And it's really like a case-by-case type of thing as well. It's hard for me to teach you this without like personal examples or many examples. But we're going to, I wanted to attempt to get you to think about it. If you feel like you've had a strong flash, a vision, you heard a message, you had a dream about something or someone, before you start saying that you're accurate or start going up to people and expecting, to tell them and have them react, observe, hang back and observe and see if you were accurate first, because you could still be projecting. We see this all the time now, and especially with politics, for example. We have, the president of the United States, who is constantly faking and lying, calling everyone a faker and a liar. This is projection. He may honestly believe that they're fake and lying, or he could be playing a big game. But this is a projection. He's describing himself more than the actual news outlets that he's complaining about. What's another example we would see? Another sort of shadowy, not fun topic, but important to talk about is with projection is also, let's say the Me Too movement or Harvey Weinstein, any of these kind of sexual harassment and abuse trials. A lot of the time, those guys are projecting as well. They're making the woman into the aggressor. They're saying, oh, she wanted this from me, or she's only doing this to manipulate me. And therefore, they're making themselves into the victims. And this is a gross projection, because really they're not owning the fact that they had more means, more power in the situation, and they were the predator or aggressor. They were not the victim. So they're projecting. So why do I bring this up in relation to intuition is because a lot of the time you'll have a strong feeling. You might have like I said, a clairvoyant kind of moment. You flash something happening with somebody, or a trait that they have, or something that's going to happen, no matter what that is. And if it's something that is dramatic in your life, for the good or the bad, you have a dream about being hired or fired, like something pretty dramatic, meeting someone, having a proposal or breaking up, something dramatic. That's usually when we have to be careful. Is that our intuition, or is that projection of a fear or projection of a desire? When you want something badly, you'll see it everywhere because you want it badly. When you don't want something and you're avoiding it, you can also see it indirectly because you'll be triggered by a lot of things that come up and make you scared or nervous. So once again, you know, and as I describe in my book, I give you lots of examples of other things and ways to practice. But when you're just beginning to trust yourself, keep a journal of everything, and just decide not to get upset about it one way or the other. Just sort of look at it like, oh, interesting, I had a dream of that I was going to be fired. So even if it is dramatic, oh, look at that, I had a flash of me at a wedding altar. I had a flash of a physical transformation. You know, if I work out enough, or something that you're placed with desires and fears. Try to just look at it, be a bit detached, sort of write it down, and go, that's interesting. And just observe it for a little while and see if you turn out to be right. Sometimes those messages, flashes, words, whatever intuitive information that's coming to you, sometimes it is intuitive and sometimes it is sort of dramatic, what we can see it coming. But a lot of the time, honestly, it's not going to be. A lot of the time, the dramatic or very emotionalized messages are usually fear or projection or fantasy. So I hope this helps you. Have a wonderful day. There will be more intuitive tarot training videos to come. If you want to reach me for a reading or ask me anything about the book, you can reach me at river-rain.com, and my links are down below for every other social media. All right, have a good day.